I feel kind of weird using this, but I'm going to because we're also online. So that's kind of cool. So folks can watch this later on at home too. You could watch this again if you wanted to online. If you just feel like it on like a Friday night, you could pull this up and watch it again. Welcome to our kindergarten information night. We're so excited that you're here. This is going to be so much fun, starting school and that educational journey that we get to partner with you for. We're really excited about it, and we hope that you are too. How many of you, this is your first kindergarten information night, because this is your oldest child or your only child? Okay, awesome. And how many of you had a student, or if any of you did, who did TK through Novato Unified? Anyone have a student who did TK? Okay, awesome. That's good to know. Okay, great. Well, congratulations. You're about to hit this awesome milestone, and it's so much fun. Once your child starts going to school, there's just so many more people that you meet, so many more activities to be involved with. Your community gets bigger, and it's just a blast. So, and it really starts to go fast, I feel like, once they're in school too. So welcome and congratulations for being here. My name is Lindsay Broden. I'm the Director of Educational Services at Novato Unified, and I'm going to introduce a few of my colleagues who are here tonight. We have Dr. Julie Sinyard here. She's our Executive Director. We have Mike Saisi over here. He's our Director of Student Services. Leslie Benjamin. She's our Director of Communications and Community Engagement. We have Principal Chima up here. She is the principal at Loma Verde. Principal Hira. She is the principal at Olive. We have, there you are. We have Principal Menchavez, and she's the principal at Linwood Elementary. And Principal Nam is here. She is at Rancho Elementary. And then we have Regina Fernando Laredo helping with interpretation tonight and with registration, so that some of you could get enrolled before you even sit through this tonight, and you can check that off your list. So that's great too. All right, so we're going to talk a little bit about the NUSD community. We're going to talk about what kindergarten looks like in Novato Unified, and we're going to talk about your options in Novato Unified, because you can go to your neighborhood school, or maybe you want to be involved with the dual language immersion program, and then some next steps for you as well. Okay, so this is the graduating class of 2038. How does that sound? It's kind of exciting, huh? Last week we were here for the class of 2039. So you're the class of 2038 if your child is enrolling in kindergarten this year. So that's very exciting for us. So that's the year that you guys are championing throughout their educational journey in our school district. Okay, so Novato Unified School District is a really diverse and rich school district. And one of our values is that we value diversity, equity, and inclusion. And there is just so much that we learn from each other. And we support every student of every background who is within our school district. And we also like to say we are 100% awesome. But within our school district, we have... You can go to the next slide, too. We have 8 elementary schools. We have 2 comprehensive middle schools. One of the 8 elementary schools is our TK through 8th grade program at Hamilton. And we have 2 comprehensive high schools. And also we have Hill Education Center, which is just has all kinds of cool programs that support all different types of needs. So our elementary schools, and maybe these will be familiar to you. Last week we had a lot of people here who had attended one of these when they were going through school, but those are Hamilton, that's TK through 8th grade, Loma Verde, Lou Sutton, Linwood, which is also a dual language immersion program. We'll talk a little bit about that. Pleasant Valley, Rancho, and San Ramon. And Olive. Save the best for last. No, just kidding. All of these schools are awesome. Their principals are amazing. That's why they come to things like this and support in any way that they can. The communities are so sweet. The school culture at all of our schools is really, they all feel really good. When I step onto campus, I always feel really happy. And I just feel like if you live in Novato, you're really fortunate to be part of a community that is so strong and so caring. And all of our schools reflect that. And so you really can't go wrong. And everything that we're going to talk about tonight about kindergarten in our school district is relevant at all of our schools, which is also really neat because all of our principals collaborate, our teachers collaborate, and we really try to, I think, capitalize on the unified part of our school district. So you're really lucky to be in Novato, in my opinion. So we have a really strong and clear vision in our school district. Our vision is what is kind of like our goal that keeps us moving forward and supporting all of our students and our families. And our vision is centered really around equity and figuring out ways to support every student regardless of their need. And whatever their need is, we want to champion them and support the family. And we care so much actually about equity that we have an equity statement, an equity imperative statement that we all value and look to in making decisions and in how we partner and support families. And we care so much that we have an equity imperative committee that actually looks at this and continues to revise our vision around supporting every family regardless of background and need. And so it truly is a really supportive environment here. We're a culture of caring, a culture of competence, and a culture of excellence. And so what that means is that we want to build and maintain strong relationships in school communities. We want to support all of our students through tiered supports depending on what they need. And we want to do our very best to ensure that your child is learning and they're ready and they're prepared for whatever is next, whether that's the next grade level or whether that's the next week or whether that is graduation and contributing in society or in a career or at higher education. We just want to get them where they need to be academically, socially, emotionally, in any way that we can. We have, one of the ways that we do this is that we have something called the 6 C's in Novato, and that's kind of our vision for when somebody graduates from our high schools. What do we want them to have? What are those soft skills beyond like knowing how to solve a math problem or beyond knowing how to read? Who do we want them to be as people? How can we help them be that as people, being that we're a school district in our role? How can we help them? And what do we want that to look like? What are the soft skills that we think kids and adults need to learn and be able to do so that they can be as successful and happy as possible? And this is what we came up with probably like 15 years ago, and we still identify ways that we can support students in developing these soft skills, and that's communication, critical thinking, collaboration, being a conscientious learner, being culturally competent, and having strong character. And those are things that we really value. The importance of kindergarten. Kindergarten is so incredibly important. That's the year where your students really solidify the number sense that they'll need in order to start completing like really simple equations and math facts and things like that, but that's not simple to them, right? And so they learn that number sense their kindergarten year. They learn more about friendships and relating to others and their community and how they fit into a community. They learn they learn the building blocks of reading in kindergarten. And by the end of kindergarten, they're set to really continue that into first grade and solidify that skill of reading. So why kindergarten? Why is kindergarten so important? Well, it's important for your child to attend kindergarten and in a district like Novato Unified because we are able to offer a really high quality education for your student with top-notch credentialed teachers and people who really care about your child. In a public school system like Novato Unified, your child can get that early intervention that they might need. They can get support in whatever they might need support with, whether that's social, emotionally, or academically. We have the resources to be able to support your child. And what's really cool about our programs is that there's a lot of play involved in our programs. And research shows that when students are playing and having fun, that they'll be able to learn because they enjoy learning, they enjoy being at school, and learning just comes a little bit more naturally and easily because they're enjoying and they're actually doing while they learn, because oftentimes play involves a lot of doing, right? And then we want to be there to provide positive relationships for students and help them see that they can have positive friendships and how to do that, and then also positive relationships with adults who will be there to support them and help them with whatever they need. So this year, students can enroll for kindergarten if their birthday, if they turn 5, if they turn 5 years old by September 1st, 2025. And you can enroll, some of you enrolled here tonight. You can also go to our website, which is really easy to navigate. And there's like an enroll tab pretty clearly at the top. You can click enroll and it takes you through the whole process. If you have any questions when you're doing that, feel free to call us and we'll help you with that. You can also come in and we'll help you with that in person. You can also call your school, the school that you know that your child will attend, if you have any questions about enrollment or the school. They're happy to help you as well. Okay, so now kind of the more fun part. What will your child's day look like? What is kindergarten like in Novato Unified? Well, one of the really cool things is that this is where you get to be part of a school community. And each school community has its own really strong community and awesome culture. And every school has really similar things in place. So every school has really fun family events. Every school has a PTA that you can be involved with. Every school has an ELAC, English Learner Advisory Committee, that you can be involved with. Every school has assemblies regularly. Many of them have an awesome routine that they do in the morning called morning motion or something similar, where they do something as a grade level or a school and kind of gets their day started in a positive way. They have buddy classes. I mean, there's so much cool stuff that happens in this district. Also, one of the things that I've been thinking about a lot lately is that it's really remarkable how we're a district that really wants to bring the arts to students too. So even before the arts was kind of given more funding in the last few years in schools, Novato Unified's had a great elementary music program. And it's very well established, and that feeds into middle school music and high school music and the arts. And so that's something your child can look forward to as early as first grade. So that's something that's kind of cool too. So we have enrichment all over the place as well. And remember that strong attendance in kindergarten is correlated with success throughout the grade levels. So that kindergarten year is really important. And your community, your homeschool community, is going to be a very welcoming place for you and for your child too. And so I'm excited for you. All right. We have Principal Hira with some more information about kindergarten.
Good evening. My name is Lori Hira, and I am the principal at Olive Elementary School. So I'm just going to kind of talk about kindergarten in action. when students start in kindergarten, that's when we are really getting them their foundational skills, but also being able to be independent of you. And so this is their first step into independence. And so when they come to us, they're going to learn how to navigate peer relationships, how to sit for extended periods of time, whether on the carpet or at a table. They're going to also learn how to resolve conflicts between their peers or with their peers, and how to communicate effectively their wants and needs. A lot of our students come to us with a vast variety of abilities and levels and experiences in preschool or TK or homeschool or another type of educational background. And so all of that comes together into one classroom. And so they're really trying to navigate how to get along with one another, how to be a student, and what does a student look like on an everyday basis. They're learning how to solve problems with one another through games, through small group activities. And then our curriculum, there's several curriculum that we use throughout the day. For our phonics and phonemic awareness, we use what's called Haggerty. And for our reading, it's Lucy Calkins. For math, it's everyday math or math expressions. And then we also teach a lot of social emotional learning in our classrooms. That is very important. A lot of times that's what we start out with, is team building and what are our emotions? What kinds of emotions do we have? How do we express our emotions to other people? And what does that look like? And so we use Second Step as one of our curriculum. Every kinder class has between 20 to 24 students. The class will be capped at 24 students to one adult. School starts at 8:40 and ends at 1:40. They have a 20-minute recess. However, most kinder classes, they go out to brunch or eat their snack a little early so that they have a longer period of time to play, because we all know that at this age play is very important, creative play, imaginative play, and so they do get a lot of time to do that outside and inside of the classroom. And then there's a 45-minute lunch for all students. There are after-school care available to parents that need that after-school care, and it goes all the way till 6 p.m. So our students are picked up at their classrooms, and then they're walked to their aftercare classroom, and then parents can pick them up at 6 p.m. Meals are provided free to all students. That includes a snack at their first recess, and then also lunch. And then every week or so, there's communication from the principals, just about a newsletter about what's going on at school, some reminders, and then a calendar of events. And then teachers, we all utilize Parent Square, so teachers also will be sending out newsletters sometimes once a week, sometimes every other week. There are some teachers that Parent Square message a lot of pictures and updates every day or so. So the best question, what can I do to support my child when they are approaching kindergarten? And so I think for the teachers, what is most important is those life skills. Can my child go to the bathroom independently? Can my child put on a jacket? Can my child wash their hands independently? Do they use soap? Can they flush the toilet? So those are really, really important skills that I think we all kind of assume kids should have or know, but it's surprising that when they come to kindergarten, there are students that struggle still with these skills. And so in preparing your child for school, those are really some life skills that you can help us with in terms of starting school. And then some things like just singing the ABCs or working, with scissors or pencils, so that they get the grip, the fine motor grip, passing a ball to one another so that they gain those large motor skills also. So those are just things that you can do to prepare your child. Also getting on a schedule. That is very important because a lot of times our students come in and if they were at home or in a preschool where the time frame was more relaxed, they have a harder time with adapting to a schedule like kindergarten. You'll notice that they'll come home very tired. So making sure that they have a really set schedule, they have a schedule to eat, and then they go to bed at a really decent hour, and then they wake up, and then breakfast is very important. It helps them start the day, gives them energy, so giving them a really good breakfast in the morning. So those are kind of things that we work on or we work with parents on in starting kindergarten. I'm going to pass it over to Principal Chima.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Tania Chima. I'm principal at Loma Verde Elementary. Thank you for being here. If you're looking for the Niners score, it's tied 6-6. Very exciting game. I didn't just look that up. I don't know if you shared that, but I also am a parent of 2 children that attend Novato Unified School District. And I think if you talk to lots of people that work here, that you will find that's a common response of people who work here have had students that have gone through here or currently have students in Novato Unified. And I think that speaks to the power and commitment of the educators here. When you're, putting your heart and soul into something, you want your own children to benefit from that. So I was, sitting in that seat. I actually snuck into the kindergarten at night way back when because I was like, I want to know what happens too, just because I know what happens at my school. So kindergarten's really exciting. They are part of this new community, a bigger space. They get to experience new things. Of course, every school has its own little taste and flavor, but there's gardens to visit and go with your friends, cooking labs, that's something really fun that happens at elementary school, youth in arts or other arts to tech, which is a parent volunteer-led program. As Lindsay talked about, having morning motion, so starting the day with either an assembly or doing some movement and motion. I always say jazzercise, and then the kids look at me like, what? And then I feel old. I think Zumba is what we say, yeah. And yet I can't ever remember it. And so just really having them explore the environment, feeling connected with their school community is what, kindergarten's all about. Lots of collaboration. We talked about the 6 C's. That's really kind of the foundational backbone of what we're doing for our students. We want them to leave as capable humans that are able to function and be productive members of society. And so these skills of being critical thinkers, collaborators, communicators are all part of their kindergarten experience. If you're thinking like, what does that look like in kindergarten? They're collaborating and creating a bridge. They are collaborating and creating a dance. They're learning how to communicate their feelings, how to solve a problem, how to ask for something, how to ask for assistance. And so that all starts at a very young age. And we also really just want to celebrate who they are. Part of the kindergarten experience is to set them up for continued success in their academic life. We want them to feel seen and be heard and be safe and go home happy and be excited to return the next day. because if they're excited about being at school, that's already a success, and we're setting them up, and we want them to know that we're in their corner cheering them on throughout their career. This is a really exciting part of Novato Unified School District. We have proficiency-based education. So if you read the California State Standards for any grade, it's a really exciting read. It goes on for pages, and then you think like, how's a 5-year-old supposed to do all this? But really, it happens in lots of creative and wonderful ways that our teachers are great at doing. But proficiency-based education is our teachers have put in the time and work and effort to identify essential standards that we believe in every grade level a student should leave proficient in. That's not to say the other standards we just kind of ignore, but they're all incorporated, but we've identified the essential standards. There's about 10 to 12 in each grade level in each of the subjects. And we want the kids to know what they are, right? So we want them to know that I can identify uppercase letters. I can identify lowercase letters. I can count to 20 with one-to-one correspondence. So our teachers do a good job of using those essential standards, and they have kid-friendly language and learning maps so the kids can track their progress. I'm here, I'm supposed to go over here, and this is how I'm going to get there. This is the vocabulary I use. This is the skills that build that essential standard. And it's all done through a hands-on learning approach where they're moving their whole body, they're moving their hands to use manipulatives, and the parents and the students are getting the feedback that they need. I think I'm going to pass it on to Lauren, but I just want you all to know we want it to be an enriching, supportive experience for all of your children, and it's definitely a partnership. We can't do anything at our schools by ourselves, and we need to work together, and so the more you can be present, joining PTAs, PTOs, volunteering for events, and really having that mindset that if it's good for my child, it's going to be good for the community, and if it's good for that child, it's going to be good for me because it's going to benefit the community. When we kind of take that mindset of these are our kids, then we really have strong schools and strong communities. So thank you for starting your journey here at Novato Unified. Principal Menchavez. It's very official when we call each other that.
Yeah, thank you, Principal Chima. Hola, muy buenas noches. Yo soy Lauren Menchavez, soy la directora de la escuela bilingüe. Es una escuela primaria en Novato. So, good evening. Thank you for being here on a rainy day with apparently a football game. I'm Lauren Menchavez. I'm the principal of Linwood Elementary. It's a dual language immersion school here in Novato. And I am going to walk you through some of the big picture of the school, but I really encourage you, if you're interested, to come by and see the school, because a lot of people's questions are answered by just walking in the door and seeing, oh, this is how it works. So we have about 260 kids. We're a two-way model, which means about half of our students speak English at home and half speak Spanish at home. There are a few other languages spoken at home, but those are the main ones. We're a 90-10 model. A 90-10 model means 90% of the time when kids start in TK and kindergarten, they're learning in Spanish. 10% of the time, they're learning in English. And then in first grade, you add 10%. Second grade, another 10%, and by fourth and fifth grade, students are learning 50% in English and 50% in Spanish. It's a really powerful model that results in really high levels of English proficiency, which sounds a little odd because it starts with so much Spanish, but amazingly, that is how our brains work. It's super cool. So in any bilingual school, you're going to have three major goals. The first goal is biliteracy. So language acquisition is a process. It takes 5 to 7 years, but by fifth grade, all students should be proficient in listening, speaking, reading, and writing in English and Spanish. And that's something that we work really intentionally towards with all of our planning and the curriculum that we provide. Another goal is high levels of academic achievement. So in this wonderful way, bilingual minds are very powerful. They create additional neural pathways. There's more metalinguistic awareness. Students have better problem-solving skills, and actually they've found that bilingual education and being bilingual can increase your academic scores. The last and very important goal of any bilingual program is developing cultural competence in our students who are going into a globalized society, and also a positive self-esteem and a positive view of their own culture. So an ability to learn about others and also feel pride in what they bring. So those are our 3 goals. The benefits of dual language education, I mean, I'm the principal of a bilingual school. Obviously, I believe in it. My children are in bilingual education, and I've been in it for years and years. But it's really incredible to know the cognitive benefits of it. I mean, the brain gets stronger, so much so that they've even found lower rates of Alzheimer's in bilingual people, just because of the way that your brain is exercised differently. But it does result in higher academic scores. Like I said, our 5th grade math scores are really good, and we have our English students, our students who speak English at home, learning Spanish and math, and being able to navigate the 2 languages, and it does allow for like something magical to happen in one's mind, but it affects academics in a really positive way. Social emotional learning is really important, as we've talked about already. But there is something about the way that we experience emotions when speaking about them in our home language that is different than if we talk about them in a second language that we've learned. So providing social emotional curriculum in both English and Spanish really allows it to be more impactful for everyone who walks in the door in a way that, again, we just really value. And we appreciate that students can talk to one another in the language where they are most able to express themselves and express their emotions. There are obvious economic benefits. We can get bilingual stipends these days, but there's a lot more job opportunities when you speak 2 languages, and particularly when you can read and write in 2 languages, because we do have a lot of bilingual people who are not provided bilingual education in their youth, and so they may be able to read and or to speak and understand, but that part where they can actually translate for others and create and produce written work is something that we build in the students. And a huge benefit is community. So I grew up in Marin. I was monolingual, so I grew up speaking only English, and I didn't learn Spanish until I was an adult, which I don't recommend. It's so hard, but I really love that I speak both English and Spanish now, because it allows me to connect with people that I want to connect with, and to be able to hear people share with me in the language that they speak at home. And I was missing that growing up in Marin, and so I want that for my kids. And I find so many parents who have their kids at this school really believe in that and want that for their own children. So those are some major benefits of bilingual education. A little bit of data just to show you that it is effective. So like I said, learning Spanish literacy first and then adding on the English literacy results in higher level of English proficiency for people who speak Spanish at home. So our redesignation from English learner to English proficient student for students who speak Spanish at home has actually been above the average in Novato and in the state. And that's because of this way that because of the ways that our brains develop when we go through the full course of dual language education, so TK through 5th grade. This graph is really a lot, so I won't take too much time with it. The dotted line is an English native speaker's reading level. All of the squiggly lines are Spanish speakers entering the education system and the different programs that we can provide to them. The highest, this line right here that keeps going up and up, that's a 2-way dual language program. That's what we provide. And you can see all kids kind of progress at about the same rate of learning English reading in all the programs until about 3rd grade. And then if you've learned that foundation of Spanish literacy, the English literacy really takes off. Because we know about the brain that it's not really learning two separate things. You're learning language, you're learning expression, you're learning the way to organize thoughts, and so much of that overlaps. So it's really this beautiful process of transfer where, all right, I have this strong foundation in Spanish, and the English comes at a much higher rate. And this is our lovely school. We really do have a great group. If you're interested at all or just curious, especially if you're someone who speaks English at home and is thinking, like, how does this work? Come by. It's amazing to just, even if you don't speak any Spanish at all, to sit in a classroom and go, I know what they're saying. Because they're trained to make you know what they're saying. So yeah, I hope you can come by and check it out. And let me know if you have any questions afterwards. I don't know who goes next. All right.
Thank you. Thank you so much. All right, so that's a really great part of our school district is that your child, regardless of where you live within Novato, your child could attend Linwood for our dual immersion language program, and then they could continue to take Spanish classes throughout middle school and high school, and even graduate with the seal of biliteracy, which is a really big deal and really certifies them as being like officially bilingual. So it's a great option to consider, and that's once again at Linwood for anyone. So pretty exciting. All right, a really cool thing about this school district. So I started out here a long time ago teaching, and I left and I went and worked other places, and I came back over the summer to work here again, and was so happy and excited to be back here. And one of the things that I've noticed since being back that I didn't notice as much when I was starting teaching because I just didn't have anything to compare it to, is that parent involvement in this school district is so strong and so welcomed. And it's really, really amazing to see. I could go on to any school campus at any given time during the week or the school day and see parents just at the school welcomed to be there, whether they're helping or just like visiting or watching something cool that's going on. So that's something that's really great about this school district is that parents are so involved with their child's education, and it is a partnership. And we do look forward to partnering with you. And our children will be successful the more that we work together, and the more that parents are involved with school, and the more that schools offer to families to engage them. And that's what we try to do. So just know that you're welcome to help at your child's school in whatever capacity works for you, whether that is like you're going to be like the PTA president, or maybe you will do what I do where I pay my $10, $15 membership fee to the PTA every year and like help with an event or two during the school year, and that's it. But whatever, or maybe you're going to help in the classroom every week, or maybe you're going to be on the school site council, or maybe you'll go to all the PTA meetings, but you're not going to be on the PTA board, or maybe you'll help with certain school events. So whatever it is, there's plenty of ways that you can get involved. Just ask your school office and your child's teacher about how they need help. Chaperoning field trips is always really fun, and we do field trips. There's just lots of different ways that you can be involved here, and we welcome that. All right, so what comes next? So once you're enrolled, you will start to see communication from our school district and from your child's school, which is really exciting. Our schools are so great about communication. Our teachers are great about it. We have awesome teachers, and they send out newsletters and things like that oftentimes, or have an app to help communicate with families. Our principals send out awesome newsletters. Our community liaisons send out information. So there's going to be a lot of information coming your way. It'll start kind of slowly, and then it'll kind of pick up a little bit. So it's important to just take a look at that when you get information from us. Schools will will have like orientation days or maybe information nights. Each school might welcome you in a different way, but they will definitely have ways to welcome you into the school community. They might have some screening days where teachers just get a chance to see where your child's at so they can start planning for your child's instruction already by seeing what maybe they're already able to do. Some schools will offer like play opportunities, so that's really cool. Maybe you'll meet people at some of the events and start having like little get-togethers. That's always a great thing and a way for a child to meet a friend. And then, of course, you need to also complete your child's immunizations before school starts as well. School tours are posted on our website, and Leslie Benjamin does a great job communicating out like all the different events that happen and making sure that our website looks really great too. And so you can go to any school's website also and see tour dates and go take a look at your child's school. And what we really want for our kids in the school district, we want them to learn and be ready and to contribute in the world and be happy and everything. But the way that we do that, what's important to us is that they believe in themselves and that we partner with you to help them really believe in themselves and that they can do anything that they put their mind to and anything that they need to learn, that they can learn it. And we really believe that too. We want them to love learning. So our schools are really fun places with lots going on and a lot of the things that are like heart important in addition to brain important. And we want them to find meaning in being at school. We want them to know that we believe in them and to know that we care about them. And our teachers do a great job of that. Your kids are in really good hands with our teaching staff. And we want to build a community that's really strong and caring and build strong relationships. So coming to things like this is a great start in doing that. So thank you so much for being here. And we're so excited that you're choosing Novato Unified School District. And we're so excited to partner with you in supporting your child. So I think you're really going to like it. And we'll be seeing you around. And we're going to take some questions, too, if you have any questions. Well, if you ever do have a question, you can call your child's school, or you can come in, or you can call us. Just call someone or go see somebody, and we're happy to help. All right. Well, if you do think of any questions, we'll be just cleaning up for a second, and so you can find one of us. But thank you for being here. You can go watch the football game now, so thank you.